place in global geopolitics and the kind of weight and might that China has in the global economy today. And a state visit is a recognition of your state, of your country, and literally an open door to step up your relationship with your host. And so President Akufo-Addo, when invited, took the opportunity and joined President Xi Jinping here in Beijing for that state visit, and primarily, used it as an opportunity to achieve two main things. A, to move Ghana's traditional political and diplomatic relationship with China to another level of mutually beneficial economic partnership. And in that space, get about MoUs, about 8 MoUs signed, which should bring home some significant benefits to our people. And then also, literally, for all the years that Ghana has been there for China, to talk of China's attempt to get on the UN Security Council and Ghana's role in it, and how Ghana across Africa has been instrumental in pushing support for the One China policy. Literally get China to say a thank you, or get China to also extend the hand of appreciation for the years that we've been behind them. Now, for these 8 MOUs, let me start with those ones. It covers various things like the Belt and Road project that China is doing, which did not include Ghana, but which President Akufo-Addo has made a case to get Ghana now included, and an MOU signed to the effect, which would go a long way to add to the already expansive work that we're doing to increase our infrastructure out there across the country. The Regional Aviation Corporation, we do know that China has been involved in, for example, the Africa World Airlines, but how do we open up our regional aviation space and use Ghana as a strong hub? So we've managed to get an MOU to that effect. The University of Health and Allied Sciences in Home requires a phase 2 to open it up and provide more admissions to students who are eager to get education there, especially in these days of free SHS, we need to open up space at the tertiary level. So we've managed to get a phase 2 commitment for the University of Health and Allied Sciences. We've also managed to get a 4th MOU signed on improving security and police logistics. You know that recently we've received about 200 police cars and some more equipment and logistics, which are going to add to the retooling of the Ghana Police Service as promised by the President. With this new MOU for security and police logistics, we expect to even go a step higher in retooling our police service. To push our industrial drive, and I just heard you talking about how companies have had to lay off workers, etc. We are heavy on an industrial drive, which is aimed at ensuring that growth continues to stay up there, but it's growth also that is laced with a lot of jobs. One of the things you need is cheap, reliable energy. And the Chinese have demonstrated that with their work on nuclear energy. So we signed an MOU with them on nuclear energy to hopefully onboard some of those projects to further bring down the cost of our energy and improve reliability, which will go a long way to assist industries become viable. The First Lady has worked extensively on maternal and child health care programs. She's done about 2, one in Kumasi, one in Accra. But thankfully, we've managed to get an MOU with a number of Chinese partners that would help us expand that to other parts of the country. The Cape Coast Stadium requires some expansion work on it. It's been included in one of the 8 MOUs, and so we should get some partnership in doing that. And also, finally, we've signed an MOU on insurance cooperation, which is aimed at helping us to deepen the kind of work that our local insurance industry is doing, and therefore also be able to attract good wrapped financing to finance a lot of the things that we require. So those are the 8 MOUs that the President and his colleague Xi Jinping have managed to shepherd through on the back of the state visit. So once you get a state visit, you try and push some things through and get some benefits out of that.
Right.
And then also on the other side, we've managed also to get China to show support for Ghana's cooperation and support over the years. So we are also getting about 200 million RMB grant assistance. We are also, we have also received a directive from the Chinese Top Alliance to Chinese industry to participate in our 1D1F programs. Ghanaian students benefit a lot from Chinese tertiary scholarships. We've managed to get a concession to open that more so that more Ghanaian students can also have an opportunity to come study here. The Jamestown what can you call it? The Jamestown Fishing Harbour is another area that we've also managed to kindle their interest. So again, like I said, when you visit, you push in as much as you can.
As much as you can. What is the nature of these financial arrangements so that we know what has been said about the $2 billion infrastructure deal, for instance? But when you say China is helping us to, for instance, expand the Cape Coast Stadium, what's the nature of that financial arrangement?
So, for example, these 8 MoUs, and these 8 MoUs are apart from the support that China is showing for our cooperation over the years. These 8 MoUs are commercial transactions. You have to structure them in a way that you manage to get, some concessional commercial support to execute these projects without unduly overburdening your books. And I'll use again the Sino Hydro transaction as an example. That is not part of these 8, but that is an example of how you manage to get a big push from a country and an organization in that country to deliver what you require without going through the traditional route, even though it will still be a commercial transaction.
So, please, if you may answer it for me in this way, what are they giving to us and how are we paying them back?
So, at this level, these are MOUs. As I mentioned, these are MOUs we signed. You are not going to do the final drill down to structure these transactions. But these transactions, you can see at this stage, are not grants. They are commercial. But you are not going to go through a process of structuring each individual transaction, doing the bill of quantities, costing them, timelines, etc., as associated with them.
So can we call them loans?
No, we can't call them loans at this stage. We haven't even structured transactions.
Okay.
It is the beginning where you have...
We haven't decided what they're going to be yet.
Use it to open the doors. And once you've opened the doors and set these priority areas, you are now going to assign teams to do the bill of quantities, to do the project plans and timelines, and all of that follows. And I'm sure at that stage, we'll get into the various conversations on them.
Right. I have a question on Ghana's cooperation with China. But before I bring you that question, this issue that we saw on one of the front pages this morning of a possible 50 billion bond being issued for a century. What can you tell us about that?
I do know that the administration is considering a century bond. At the ticket size of that bond and timelines for issuance, again, there are conversations we'll go through. But it is important. And if you look at the global financial markets all over the world, you are finding two things. Countries are improving on their domestic resource, like we are doing in Ghana, improving on our domestic resource year to year. If you look at 2017, if you look at 2018. But at the same time, you're also looking at finding cheaper, longer-term financing to complement that. And a century bond, as has been done in other parts of the world, is a good opening. It helps you to refinance some of your short-term expensive instruments and gives you more fiscal space and gives you more resources to stretch over a period and to deliver more value. So yes, the administration is considering a century bond, and I'm sure that in terms of ticket size and timelines for issuance, again, when we conclude on that, we'll have an opportunity to discuss.
Can you share some of these examples of countries that have issued century bonds?
I think, for example, Argentina also, one of the North American or South American countries, for example, has done a good job issuing a century bond at good rates, help them to refinance some of the items on their books, and also give them some more resources to search forward in meeting some of the needs that they have as a country. But as I mentioned, once that consideration is completed, we'll have an opportunity to get into details of how we would like to do ours.
Okay, I just have in front of me a Bloomberg report which is headline. Remember Argentina's century bond? It just hit a record low. Now, even though it's sold $2.75 billion of century bonds a couple of years back, the bonds have tumbled to a record low of 86.79 cents a dollar, and investors are questioning the credibility of the Argentina's central bank and the global emerging markets assets slide. So it's not being as profitable as we would have thought. Would you be making these considerations when you are looking at finally making such a decision?
I mentioned Argentina as an example, and you've also Argentina, and you're saying that it has hit a record low in terms of what? Yield for investors. If that is what it is, I haven't seen the document, but if that is what it is, then that's what every country is looking for. that you issue a bond that helps you to raise money to do a good job, but you don't end up paying exorbitant rates. When that is happening, whoever has bought the bond may say that it is not yielding him or her as much as, but you, the issuer of the bond, that is what is good for you, so that your bond is not necessarily overly expensive in that space. That's my understanding of what you have just read. But it doesn't take away the fact that if you get a century bond, it helps you to improve liquidity, it helps you to improve your financing, it helps you to spread out your obligations and create more fiscal space to grow your country.
Of course, that may also mean that our local markets may not look that attractive for foreign investors. But then I want to put in this question quickly before we let you go. We have, as you know, I know that you were a very busy man. Now, China has pledged $60 billion to Ghana in the last 2 decades and has released $3.4 billion. In the case of Angola, they have received $44 billion of the $50 billion that was pledged. That's what research has uncovered. How sure are we that with these MOUs that we've signed, we are going to see, actual monies being released for work to be done?
That's a brilliant question, Daniel. When you're dealing with the Chinese, you need a lot of attention to detail and follow through. Because, I use Ghana as an example. We signed a $3 billion CDB facility, and we're only able to meet the conditions precedent and access only $1 billion. We have just managed, as part of our re-engagement with the Chinese, to literally lift the lid and to commence accessing a bit more of that. So it is true, when you're dealing with the Chinese, you have to pay attention to detail and follow through so that you can access all that you have literally committed to. One of the strategies we are using is to set up a dedicated team. Indeed, the FOCAC is starting this morning. Another commitment is going to be made for the whole of Africa. But we are setting up a dedicated team whose principal duty will be to follow through, and ensure that whatever commitments that we come up with the Chinese, we are able to follow through and access same for the benefit of our people. And then on the lighter note, I have, all the time to talk to you this morning, so I really don't have to go.
Thank you very much, Kojo Fonkruma, for joining us this morning. He's the Minister for Information Designate. He brings us to 20 minutes past 8 on the Super Morning Show. We're going to take these important messages, and when we come back, we'll begin with a bit of conversation about some of the issues that we touched on with the Minister earlier, just now, and then we would also go into other issues of importance that we have brought up this morning. Stay with us. This is the Super Morning Show.
It's a new day. I want you to first think big, not small. Think of how great we can be when we work together. Together, we can ensure that our hard work will provide a better future. Together, we can provide a foundation for you and your business to succeed, regardless of its size. Together, we can create opportunities for all. You're ahead of the race. Bank with us today and let's journey forward together. Forward together. Cowbank, forward together.
Blow the candles, sound the trumpet, and scream! Media is 50. Media, your #1 air conditioner and appliance manufacturer, is 50 years old. 50 years of top-notch quality, and we're celebrating it big. Starting from 15% discount on appliances from any Media showroom or authorized reseller. Join the celebration of Media at 50. We have amazing home appliances at great discounts. Tabletop fridges starting at 499 Ghana cedis. 4-burner gas cookers starting at 799 Ghana cedis. Chest freezers are also starting at 799 Ghana cedis. Blow the candles, sound the trumpet, and scream! And so many appliances for you to choose from. One so better, dear. Remember, it's a celebration. It's Media at 50 big sales on appliances. Visit a Media showroom or authorized reseller now, or call us on 0503 400 600. It's the Media at 50 promotion. Terms and conditions apply.
The other day, as I was in my kitchen preparing my special jollof made with lily rice for my family, I heard a knock at the door. It was my mechanic. Instead of calling me to pick my car, he brought it himself. I said, "Sure." He said, "F-O." I said, "Take the car back. I will come and pick it myself." As I turned off the fire from under the lily jollof, there was another knock at the door. It was my neighbor. I said, neighbor. He said, "F-O, my dog has jammed your wall again, oh." I said, "Don't be silly. You don't have a dog." My wife and kids came home, and we saw that he enjoyed. Acho, it was my pastor. He said, bless you. I say, bless you too. He said, did he come to church on Saturday? I say, Acho, but why are you coming to tell me this on Wednesday?
Having to fend off visitors at mealtimes because of Lele's tasty aromatic rice? Celebrate every mealtime by sharing with friends and family near or far. Lele, tasty food, happy family.
Acho.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Food and Drugs Authority.
It's time to own a hotel-inspired apartment near Accra Mall and switch on your urban life with a cool price starting from 315,000 Ghana cedis. Yes, you heard me. Choose our market-leading studio, 1, 2, or 3-bedroom apartment from Oasis Park Condominium at Tetakwashi and enjoy urban resort life. For this and more, call Evelyn on 0204 343 011 or Kojo on 0204 343 008. This is another catered development by CPL Developers. CPL Developers, built for life.
Coffee in your cup. Enjoy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet.
How sure we are that we are going to get the money really to fund our development, as because we've had some 60 billion promised to us and we've only been able to recoup some 3.4 billion. He says that a special team has been set up to make sure that those monies are actually realized. But some 8 MoUs, 8 defense agreements with the Chinese government that should waiting for a new number of jobs. Cars are going to be produced here locally, tax revenue to government. But there is a local car manufacturing company, Kantanka, that has been speaking about the need for government support for years. They are saying that they have not received any support from any government at all, not just this one. And they feel that the entry of VW into the market will stifle their business. Do you agree? Or they themselves are not positioning themselves well enough for Ghanaians to buy their vehicles? You tell me. 0244 340 437 at Joy997 FM on Twitter, Joy99.7 FM on Facebook. Before the discussion begins, the Ghana Economic Forum is here again under the theme Building a Competitive Economy for Sustainable Growth. The date is September 4 to 5 at the Mövenpick Ambassador Hotel in Accra. The time is 8 a.m. each day. And for registration and sponsorship inquiries, please call 020-999-1389, 020-741-10, 020-741-0769, or email info@GhanaEconomicForum.com. Ghana Economic Forum is a unique platform for affecting policy. There's nothing more painful than running out of data when you need it the most. That's why Airtel Tigo is giving you big time data bundles. If you have 1, 2, or 5 Ghana cedis, you can get data, big time data bundles, and you also get a whole 1.5 gig for only 10 Ghana cedis. Even better is a big 2 gig for the same 10 Ghana cedis when you bundle directly from an Airtel Tigo scratch card or from your Airtel Tigo money account. You can browse how you want when you want to. There's no daily, weekly, or monthly limit to it. Get the new big time data bundles by dialing *111#. Choose a bundle that works for you. Now, Entrance University College of Health Sciences is the first private university to offer the Doctor of Pharmacy degree in the West African sub-region. Admission is for SSC or WASI with passes at least grade C6 in 3 core subjects: English, Mathematics, and Integrated Science, and 3 electives: Biology, Chemistry, and either Physics or elective Maths, and a pass in Social Studies. Other qualifications include International Baccalaureate, IGCSE or GCE Advanced Level. Location is number 16 Okwegono off the Spintex Road. Telephone is 050-908-6631 or 050-908-6651 or 026-870-2763. It's 28 minutes past 8, and let me come to Raymond, who is with me in the studio. Malik Abbas Dabo is also with me in the studio. Good morning, guys, once again.
Good morning.
And those of you who, when I'm doing LPMs, they walk around the studio and they don't sit down and wait for us to start discussions. You will always be caught running to the mic.
Warming up.
No, I will place a hidden camera in a corner, and then I'll stream it on Facebook for listeners to see what goes on when we are doing
But we
this.
live on Facebook.
It's what he's saying on air.
Yes.
Let me just inform listeners that we'll be speaking to Gabi Asarioche-Dakon, who has put up a Facebook post about he owns a Kantanka Mensa car, and he has a few opinions about how Kantanka can better position themselves to attract the Ghanaian markets. Now, wait. In Japan, the automotive industry is one of the most prominent and largest in the world. Now, in 1936, the Japanese passed the Automobile Manufacturing Industry Law, which was intended to promote domestic auto industry. 1936, today it's one of the largest in the world. China's Automobile Mid and Long-Term Development Plan, it was released in April 2017. It makes China a strong auto power within 10 years. Germany, January 2009, the German government has announced a coordinated series of measures as part of its wider economic stimulus plan to guarantee loans and stimulate demand in the German automotive industry. When you come to Ghana, there are a number of companies that could not survive over the years. Apiaminka Industries, B.A. Menses Factory as British American Tobacco, there's Nkulenu, there's Boache Mattress. There are a number of industries that could not survive in Ghana. So when we are looking at this conversation around VW, it's really bigger than just that one company and that one